The masked woman proposes to eliminate Han Li to erase Ancestor Ao Shao's suspicion. Ancestor Ao Shao forbids any assassination attempt on Han Li, deeming the threat of the Devil Realm more pressing. The masked woman agrees to stay out of it but expresses interest in Han Li cultivation aptitude. Ancestor Ao Shao suggests transferring the masked woman's servitude contract to Yin Yu to protect her. The masked woman is hesitant due to Yin Yu's insufficient cultivation but agrees after learning of Yin Yu's awakened 7-star moon body aptitude. Ancestor Ao Shao expresses confidence in the upcoming battle but notes that these arrangements are necessary precautions. After the masked woman leaves, Ancestor Ao Shao lets out a sigh. A group of cultivators clad in vermilion robes is seen spying on a canyon in the distance. Han Li returns as a human with the Tribulation completed leopard Kirin disguised as a child. He plans to use the concealed teleportation array in Sky Abyss City made for elders to reach Sky Abyss City, worrying if there are any ambushers from the demonic race. When Han Li approaches Sky Abyss City, he sees several escape lights fleeing while a demonic cloud chases behind them. An elder with a white beard uses a powerful sword light to hold back the demonic cloud. A three-pronged halberd flies out from the demonic cloud to attack the elder's sword light. The sword light is damaged and flies back, while the halberd also wails and retreats back to the demonic cloud. A high-level demonic being is enraged, and the white-bearded elder can't hold back the demonic cloud, fleeing with his disciple while the demons press their attack. Han Li appears, releases lightning to kill the demons, and rescues the cultivators of the Huoli sect. The Huoli sect elder asks for Han Li help, revealing that a nearby teleportation array has been taken over by the demons. Han Li decides to head to the teleportation array, eliminate the remaining demons, and ensure the safe entry of the Huoli sect into the city. Han Li and the Golden Lightning Leopard fly towards the depths of the canyon, followed by the Huoli sect disciples led by their elder. Han Li returned to Sky Abyss City to find a tense atmosphere, with more patrol guards than usual. Han Li was not stopped by the guards and went straight to his residence, where he found everything as before his disciples. High Lord Hai and Tool Spirit welcomed him. High Lord Hai and Tool Spirit revealed that it had been rumored that Han Li had been killed by the Saint Ancestor of the Demon Clan. Han Li laughed it off. Han Li announced that he was preparing to break through to the late-stage fusion realm. To the joy of his disciples, Han Li inquired about Feng Binger's whereabouts, only to learn that she was out attending a gathering involuntarily, as her true identity had been discovered by an outsider, who was likely Ji Xingzong Qinglong Shangren, an elder of the Ascendant City. The Duyang'e Pavilion is a renowned place for high-level cultivators to hold meetings and gatherings. Han Li infiltrates the Duyang'e Pavilion. His powerful spiritual pressure immobilizes the guards. Han Li claims that he is looking for a friend and warns the guards not to act rashly. Reminded by an elder, the guards recognize Han Li as the core formation mid-stage senior Han, and they worry about provoking him. In the first floor hall of the Duyang'e Pavilion, Ice Phoenix is surrounded by cultivators who are trying to persuade her to agree to Azure Dragon's conditions. Xiao Hong of the Black Phoenix clan advises Ice Phoenix to accept, claiming that Senior Azure Dragon's status is not inferior to Han Li and that she should not refuse. Elder Azure Dragon coerces Ice Phoenix to cooperate, using the excuse of joining Heaven Abyss City without fear of other seniors. Ice Phoenix escapes into a spatial crevice, but Elder Azure Dragon forcibly breaks it open with his divine powers, putting Ice Phoenix in danger. Han Li appears just in time, breaking down the door and rescuing Ice Phoenix, intimidating Xiao Hong and other Void Refinement cultivators. Xiao Hong and the others recognize Han Li, becoming terrified and realizing they have been tricked. Han Li ignores Elder Azure Dragon's attempts at appeasement and directly kills a traitorous cultivator. Han Li came into conflict with Elder Azure Dragon. Zen Master Jin Yu came to mediate and suggested using Spirit Stones as compensation. Pavilion Master Ji Yu Daoyu and Immortal Silver Radiance of the Do Yuan Pavilion also came to mediate. But Han Li held a firm attitude towards Elder Azure Dragon and refused to reconcile. Zen Master Jin Yu proposed that Elder Azure Dragon compensate with Spirit Stones. But Han Li did not lack Spirit Stones and proposed other conditions. Fellow Taoist Ji Yu provided a private space as the competition venue. The Elder Council decided that Azure Dragon should be able to withstand Han Li within 3 attacks, otherwise they would consider withdrawing his protection. Zhao Hong and others decided to go to Han Li cave abode tomorrow to beg for forgiveness under his threat. Han Li and his companions entered the competition space through a magic array. Azure Dragon Taoist fights Han Li with a 5-colored light screen and gold and silver dual pens. Han Li summons a giant azure sword infused with lightning and a silver firebird. Transforming into a 100-foot sword, the giant sword strikes down, colliding with Azure Dragon Taoist's gold and silver radiance, creating a huge explosion. Han Li defeats Azure Dragon Taoist, knocking him down from the sky. Han Li casts the awe-inspiring resolution technique, transforming into a 10-foot-tall golden-furred giant ape. Azure Dragon Taoist transforms into his true form as an azure dragon, infusing 7 tiny black swords and essence blood into it. Han Li defeats Azure Dragon Eccentric in his mountain ape form, knocking him back with severe injuries. Han Li teleports hundreds of meters to appear before Azure Dragon Eccentric, preparing a fatal blow. A chilly snort immobilizes Azure Dragon Eccentric, leaving him unable to manipulate his magic power, allowing Han Li Golden Fist to penetrate. Azure Dragon Eccentric uses a protective shield and armor to defend, but they are effortlessly shattered by Han Li Golden Vortex. A Golden Fist image blows past Azure Dragon Eccentric's ear, leaving behind a tiny object. Han Li reverts to his normal form, warning Azure Dragon Eccentric to leave Sky Abyss City within 3 days. Han Li and the Ice Phoenix depart, leaving Venerable Jin Yu and Elder Ji Yu helpless. The Elder Council is not too concerned about Azure Dragon's departure from Sky Abyss City. Han Li plans to secretly eliminate Azure Dragon to prevent any future trouble. Han Li possesses a spirit beast with the cultivation base of an early-stage integration, who is incredibly powerful. Han Li suspects that Sky Abyss City holds secrets and conceals even more powerful cultivators. Han Li needs the Sky Phoenix Primordial Yin to break through the bottleneck of his late-stage integration realm. Qinglong Shangren attempts to use the teleportation array to leave Tianyuan City, but is stopped by guards, as the Elder Council requires a token for its use. Qinglong Shangren forcibly breaks the seal and teleports away, leaving the guards furious. Another short figure teleports away shortly after, which the guards suspect was an illusion. After Qinglong Shangren and his disciple fly away for some distance, they are attacked by 2 golden figures. Qinglong Shangren is terrified when he recognizes the attackers as Han Shaozi, and uses his spirit brush and his demonic beast body to defend himself. Green light breaks through the claw net, allowing Qinglong Shangren to escape. Leopard Linbeast reports killing Azure Dragon. Han Li decides to break through to the later stage. The Elders' Council of Heavenly Abyss City discusses the death of Azure Dragon, speculating that it might not have been the work of demons. The council decides to not investigate the death any further and instead focus on dealing with the siege by the demons. Master Jin Yu tries to persuade Han Li, but he goes into closed-door meditation and refuses to see him. There is suspicion that Han Li has blackmailed the disciples of Azure Dragon, but it is unknown whether they will be able to gather the requested materials. Following the Elder Council's resolution on Qinglong's death, the city was restored to peace, and no news was spread. Grandmaster Jin Yu's efforts to contact Han Li were hindered, and the Elder Council's attention was diverted by the harassment of the demon race. Heaven Abyss City entered a state of preparation, forging a large number of artifacts and spirit talismans, training reserve forces, and re-examining the restrictions of the magic array. Half a year later, the silver-haired old man and Grandmaster Jin Yu discovered a change in the celestial phenomenon, indicating that a cultivator was about to transcend a tribulation. The duo stepped outside the palace and saw dark red clouds covering the sky, fireballs tumbling, and a convergence of colorful light, forming a rainbow bridge. The powerful spiritual pressure emanating from the celestial phenomenon was inspiring. Han Li's breakthrough of the later core formation stage was remarkably fast, but it also laid the foundation for future difficulties. Chan Master Jin Yu and the silver-haired elder praised Han Li's extraordinary talent, but worried that his quick advancement in the early stage might make him vulnerable during the heavenly tribulation of the later stage. Han Li's heavenly tribulation was of unprecedented power, manifesting as 81 massive black serpents and golden lightning bolts. Chan Master Jin Yu believed that Han Li had a good chance of transcending the tribulation. While the silver-haired elder expressed his concerns, Han Li retreats in a secret chamber but is in poor condition. Surrounded by strange specks of light, The specks of light transform into menacing figures that attack Han Li but are repelled by his treasures. In Han Li's spiritual sea, his primordial spirit fights a black-robed heart devil, which has been catalyzed by an extraterrestrial demon lord. The demon lord proposes to exchange the devil's armor, but Han Li refuses. The heart devil transforms into a black ruler shadow to defend against Han Li attacks. Han Li transforms into a golden-haired giant ape and attacks the heart devil. But the heart devil summons a black claw flash to block it. A demonic spell conjures another demonic spirit, and Han Li uses his refined spirit energy and black ice grass to expel it. Han Li returns to his true form and discovers that 5 ghoul demons are attacking his protective shield. Han Li eradicates the ghoul demons with golden lightning bolts, but the restriction and magic formation have been triggered and cannot withstand the heavenly tribulation. 5 colored lightning bolts condense into a giant arc, breaking through the restriction and striking Han Li's secret chamber. Han Li uses a golden arc to counter the 5 colored lightning bolts. Nearby high-level beings have fled, worried that seizing the energy of heaven and earth will affect Han Li's remolding of his primordial spirit. The silver-haired elder and golden moon Zen master marvel at Han Li's smooth advancement, praising it as joyous news for Sky Abyss City, and because his talent might allow him to become a Mahayana cultivator for their tribe. The silhouette that Han Li's primordial spirit has transformed into is extraordinarily large, gathering a massive amount of the energy of heaven and earth from the surrounding area, leaving everyone in Sky Abyss City astounded. The Bloodlight Saint ancestors incarnate, upon learning that an expert in the late stage of integration has appeared, worries that it will hinder their future overall attacks, and plans to send someone to investigate. The large demonic man, Shang, wants to deal with the expert in the late stage of integration. But the Bloodlight Saint ancestors incarnate believes that he has another more important mission, and only wants Shang to deal with it after confirming that the troublesome person is not in Sky Abyss City. The Patriarch of the Sacred Bloodline summoned the 10 commanders to discuss matters. Han Li had advanced to late-stage unity. His magic power and divine sense had increased greatly, bringing him closer to the Mahayana realm. But his physical body had only improved slightly. Han Li had used up a huge amount of power while transcending the tribulation. But thanks to the 2 huge mountains that blocked the heavenly lightning, he was safe and sound. Han Li decided to refine the 5 Extremes mountain at all costs to deal with the more fearsome heavenly tribulations. After Han Li left seclusion, Bing Feng and the other juniors congratulated him on his great achievement. Bing Feng admired Han Li's achievement, but she believed that with effort she could also advance. The incarnation of the sacred ancestor of the fiend race led an army, but his cultivation level was similar to the incarnation that had pursued Han Li previously. The Elder Council of Heavenly Abyss City decided to ask Han Li to lure and engage the sacred ancestor's incarnation to prevent it from damaging the city's defenses. The original plan was to trap the incarnation using formations and manpower, but this was difficult. After Han Li had advanced to the late integration stage, the risk was reduced, so he was chosen. Han Li agreed to undertake the mission, believing that he was capable of just holding off the incarnation. The Elder Council believed that Han Li's strength already ranked among the top late-stage cultivators of both races, and they were unwilling to ask him to join Heavenly Abyss City. Han Li intends to cultivate the divine abilities of the venerated fiend of Brahma Saint to enhance his combat capabilities. He is confident in his ability to protect himself, even against the manifestation of the fiend ancestor of the demon race. 2 months later, Han Li refines the Heavenly Spear Talisman, which can absorb a large amount of metal Ling Qi, releasing terrifying fluctuations with formidable power. During the refinement process of the Heavenly Spear Talisman, the metal magic treasures of nearby cultivators and soldiers lose a lot of Ling Qi. But when Han Li stops refining, their Ling Qi returns to normal. Outside the city, the demon race army is mobilizing frequently, and the cultivators in Heaven Abyss City are preparing for battle. An enemy army of devils approaches, and Han Li observes it from afar. In the army, a group of high-ranking devils escort a chariot drawn by 5 savage beasts. On the chariot stands a young man in a blood robe, his appearance resembling the incarnation of the Bloodlight Saint ancestor. He senses Han Li prying spiritual eyes and retaliates with powerful magical eyes. Han Li is invited to assist the city of Tianyuan in countering the invasion of the demonic race. Elders from both the Blackrobe demon cultivators and the 2 races pledge to help Han Li with all their might. Han Li is ordered to go to the attic, where he meets the 36 guards of Azure Cloud. They deploy the Azure True Radiance Grand Array, which can trap venerable demonic race experts. When the horde of demonic beasts attacks the city, Han Li uses his divine sense to gauge the battlefield situation. He discovers that the demonic beasts are numerous and are being commanded by higher-level demonic beasts. The counterattack mounted by Tianyuan City is intense, but the demonic beasts are tenacious and difficult to kill. The protective light barrier is on the verge of collapse. The fierce battle continued, with powerful beings from both sides intervening and the demon elite deploying in full force. The exalted of the demon race issued an attack command, and Han Li intervened to protect the blue-robed guards. The battle raged on the walls of Sky Abyss City, with the demon army besieging it, while the colossal airspace restriction had an effect on the demons. High-level beings above the nascent soul stage engaged in intense combat, including the conflict between the Mo Yun Demon Cloud and Blue Lightning Zanwo Whirlpool, and the confrontation between the Grey Light Curtain and the Hurricane. A man in black robes used a crimson drum to launch a sonic attack. Facing off against a four-winged demon bird with emerald green plumage, the range of the sonic waves was so vast that no one dared to approach. Dozens of cultivators and formation corpses trap 7 or 8 demon venerables. Hundreds of stone towers rise into the sky, releasing puppets and spirit beasts to fight the demon army. Han Li and others are teleported to the battlefield and form a formation to surround Han Li. The silver-haired old man and the monk Jin Yu were seriously injured. Facing the blood-robed youth and the naked brawny man, the blood-robed youth identifies Han Li as the target, and the brawny man plans to capture Han Li. The blood-robed youth implies that Han Li has just advanced to the late stage of fusion, and the brawny man reminds the blood-robed youth to be aware of Han Li's pursuit. 36 male cultivators set up a cyan light curtain formation. The blood on the burly mont's skin transformed into blood-red runes. The silver-haired old man demanded that Han Li fight the burly man alone and draw away the bloodlight avatar. Han Li engaged the burly man in combat, who summoned a wall of fire and an invisible gale from a wolf-tooth club. Han Li used Sword Lotus to defend against the wall of fire and Golden Fist to combat the gale. Pushing back the burly man summoned a flaming flood dragon, which Han Li killed with a cyan giant sword. Han Li summoned a cyan flying sword, which the burly mont's blood-red armlet destroyed effortlessly. The burly man summoned a phantom of a demonic flood dragon, which Han Li defeated with his tri-headed six-armed Dharma idol in physical form. The Buddha statue of phases of Dharma is activated, while the blood-robed youth summons a blood-colored skeleton. The silver-haired elder and Zen master Jinyu counter the blood image with spiritual treasures in an array. Han Li engages in hand-to-hand combat with the demon giant, while the Bodhi golden body and human-shaped monster engage in a fierce battle. The demon giant summons 3-headed demon lions, which emit a powerful aura and aim to kill Han Li. Han Li transforms into a giant golden ape, integrating a golden body of 3 heads and 6 arms, wielding a mountain peak in battle. A golden sphere of light transforms into a giant vortex, pressing down on the demonic warrior. The warrior's blood-colored armor erupts with light, breaking free from the restraints and transforming into a pitch-black magic spear. The magic spear destroys the golden vortex and is thrown again at the 3-headed ape. The ape uses its 6 weapons to shatter the spear, and the demonic warrior throws 2 more, which are also destroyed by the ape. The ape transforms into thousands of golden illusions that attack, and the warrior defends with a giant net of purple light. The warrior's purple cloud absorbs the golden illusions, and the 3-headed ape vanishes without a trace. The panther-scaled beast ambushes the demonic warrior, who uses his bloody hand to block it, giving the giant ape an opportunity to launch an attack. Behind the puppet, a pale purple face was horrifying. Han Li's nascent soul appeared out of nowhere, condensing into a human form within the golden light. Han Li transformed into a golden figure, his appearance exotic, with 3 heads, 6 arms, and piercing blue and gold pupils. The golden figure heavily wounded the large demon with a single blow, causing him to spurt blood. Horrified, the demon exclaimed that Han Li was using the Nirvana sacred body. 10,000-year strength. Han Li admitted to forcibly activating it. Han Li initiated the second transformation, changing into an exotic figure with 2 heads and 4 arms, clad in crimson and gold armor, exuding an aura of ancient savagery. Han Li used transformation and spellcasting to eliminate his enemies. But the transformation took a heavy toll on his vitality. The three-headed magic lion's soul escaped. But the possessed puppet appeared to get revenge. Han Li used a spatial magic array to escape, but was pursued by the magic lion. The leopard-scaled beast appeared and tanked the attack for Han Li. The magic lion released a giant black lightning claw to attack Han Li. And the leopard-scaled beast transformed its claws to defend against it. Han Li adjusted his breathing to recover his spiritual power, suppressing the accumulated medicinal power in his body. The Bloodlight Ancestor's avatar shattered the spatial formation, revealing a giant skeleton. Monk Jin Yu and the silver-haired elder engaged in a fierce battle against the Bloodlight Ancestor's avatar. Falling into a predicament, weakened from his injuries, Han Li was attacked by the Bloodlight Ancestor's avatar. Han Li conjured the Jade Devil Ring, which transformed into a golden beetle to fend off the attacks. Trapped within the Taiji formation, the blood-robed youth and the skeleton fight back with a jet-black seal, talismans, a jade pendant, and a crimson orb. The skeleton merges with 6 demonic weapons and cuts open the Taiji diagram. But the silver-haired elder and the Zen master use their own essence blood to repair it. Trapping the skeleton once again, the youth transforms into a blood-red light, and the skeleton sprouts bone wings and flies up into the air. As the gold-devouring insects swarm into the form of a giant eagle, they attempt to seize the skeleton. The blood-robed youth uses his demonic blade to cut open the giant eagle. But he is overwhelmed by the gold-devouring insects and rapidly consumed. The silver-haired elder and the Zen master are overjoyed, believing that the gold-devouring insects and the disposable divine treasures have been deployed at the opportune moment. Han Li kills the demon venerable, sparking the war between humans and demons. The human race rejoices, and their morale soars. The demon venerables escape, and the human and demon races pursue them relentlessly. Han Li retreats to heal, while the allied human and demon forces chase the demons for 3 days and 3 nights. The demon army is utterly defeated, and Tianyuan City achieves a great victory. After the Battle of Tianyuan City, the silver-haired elder assigned tasks to eliminate the remaining demons, repair the defensive restrictions, and destroy the nodes of the demon realm. The cultivators of Tianyuan City joined forces to eliminate the remaining demons, eventually forcing them to retreat. In this battle, the human and demon races achieved victory, but suffered heavy losses, significantly weakening their defensive forces. The news of Tianyuan City's great victory boosted morale, attracting numerous wandering cultivators and sect forces to join. A year later, Elder Long visited Han Li, arriving earlier than their scheduled meeting time and expressing surprise at Han Li cultivation, which had advanced to the late stage. The arrival of the demon ancestor on the sacred island hinders the alliance between humans and demons and introduces challenges to infiltrating the demon realm. The demon ancestor's departure provides an opportunity for our side to infiltrate the demon realm. But the deadlock at the sacred sovereign city poses a threat to our strongholds. Han Li seeks information on the demon realm from the Long family ancestor and learns that the sacred sovereign city remains under attack from the demons, who appear to be concentrating their efforts on eliminating other factions after seizing the sacred sovereign city. The Long family ancestor reveals that Ao Shao has a direct descendant in his circle. Han Li makes inquiries about this. Han Li also inquires about the situation in the Abyssal City and learns that the remaining demons have been eradicated and that the Ice Phoenix has closed in seclusion to comprehend the opportunity she discovered during the battle. The man in black armor and the woman in palace attire disappear. 3 holy spirits of the spirit race besiege a young man in golden robes. The young man slaughters members of the spirit race stronghold and absorbs their essence. The young man claims to be a celestial envoy and demands that the holy spirits submit. The holy spirits doubt the young man's celestial envoy status and decide to take action. A giant silver net descended from the sky, crushing 3 divine spirits. A young man in a golden robe collected the divine spirits' magic weapons and prepared to refine them into a treasure. The young man, fearing the grand ascension stage expert of the spirit clan, decided to use the treasure to suppress them. Han Li flew on his sword and arrived at a hidden valley. An old man with white hair and a childlike face observed the battle between the young man in the golden robe and the divine spirits from within a golden palace. The old man recognized the net as a replica of the soul-catching Skynet, which was exceptionally effective against the spirit clan. The old man decided to use a special treasure to suppress the young man in the golden robe. But if he was from the immortal world, it would be difficult to kill him. Han Li learns that the 3 ancestors of the demon race have arrived, and that the ancestor of the Yi family once witnessed a battle between an ancestor and a true spirit. The ancestor of the Yi family was highly skilled, but he admitted that he would not be able to withstand 7 or 8 moves from the ancestors of the demon race. The Yi family fears that they will lose the battle between the 2 races, and that the Yi family's lineage will be extinguished, so they hope that Han Li will enter the Holy Island for protection. Although Han Li has not yet established a sect, the Yi family believes that the Holy Island will invite him with great ceremony because of his extraordinary talent. The Holy Island may offer to shelter Han Li in exchange for assuring the Yi family that they will have an opportunity to rise again if they lose the war between the 2 races. Han Li suggests to the Feather Garment Girl that they exchange cultivation insights and they proceed to the end of the valley to do so. Outside the valley, a graceful woman attempts to divine Han Li fortune, but her divination powers fail. She speculates that Han Li may possess a fragment of the profound heavens that is blocking her divination. A gigantic green boat and 3 streaks of brilliant light meet in the sky above the mountain valley. Patriarch Long of the Long family and Saintess Autumn travel in their respective groups. Han Li and the Feather Yi Maiden also appear, surprising Saintess Autumn with Han Li progress in cultivation. The spirit race introduces Elder Jin Ji Yu, Concealed Form, Bai Qi, and Ji Shui. The spirit race demonstrates considerable strength, but Han Li advancements balance the forces between the 2 sides. The spirit race and human race cultivators cultivate their energy on the giant ship in preparation for their infiltration into the demon realm. Han Li reunites with his spirit body incarnation and second devil infant. Ready to face the perils of the demon realm, Han Li successfully refines the purple speech cauldron held by the Bloodlight Saint Ancestor's incarnation, expunging its devilish thoughts and preparing it to be a formidable weapon. Han Li group is only 4 to 5 days away from the demon race node, an area dominated by bloodthirsty and warlike barren devils. Since other nodes are not suitable or involve too much risk, they must use this node to reach the Bloodstone Mountains. To be cautious, the group disguises themselves as demons and consumes false demon beads to prevent their identities from being revealed. They encounter several demon patrol squads, but since the demons are of low strength, the group passes through safely. Upon reaching the Coral Archipelago, Saintess Qianchu casts a secret technique, enveloping the group in a concealing white mist, and they successfully enter the Coral Archipelago. An enigmatic woman tosses out a copper coin, which transforms into a bronze basin containing a glowing purple orb. The woman summons 8 wooden figures, which transform into grotesque, snarling faces. She commands a large, black-armored man to bring forth a pitch-black leather bag and pour an abundance of ancient beast blood into the bronze basin. The woman transforms into a blossoming tree. From her wrist, she cuts her silvery blood and drips it into the tree. Turning it silver, she unfurls a black veil, using the silver light of the tree to conjure stars in the night sky. The woman transforms into a colossal, spectral figure, controlling a compass and shooting out vibrant, rainbow-colored light. The 8 wooden figures emit pillars of light, supporting the black, celestial realm. A demon horde flies past, oblivious to the hidden veil of water. A woman in palace attire and a man in black armor find a ritual altar explosion, resulting in severe backlash from the divination ceremony. The woman in palace attire performs divination and receives an ambiguous Guosheng hexagram that is related to a cultivator in the Unity stage. Han Li and his group arrive at the demon race fortress on the Coral Archipelago and find it heavily guarded with a large number of demon race members. The Long family ancestor explains the increase in demon race personnel and suggests they infiltrate the fortress while concealing their presence. The Lin family cultivator agrees with the infiltration plan, while the young woman in feather clothing expresses concern. Han Li and his group arrived in front of a black light curtain, and the Lin family man broke through the light curtain with his bare hands. The old Confucianist used a talisman to break through the light curtain, and everyone entered. 10 integration stage cultivators joined forces to break through the 7 layers of restriction and reach the airspace above the fortress. A lightning net appeared in the dark clouds, and the Long family ancestor used the pure thunder bottle to collect the electric arcs. The demon lord appeared, but Han Li and his party ignored the demon lord and entered the passage. After a moment's hesitation, the demon lord gave up the entrance to the passage, and Han Li and his party entered the passage. The demons were annihilated by the pink flames of the crystal flower tree, leaving only a formidable demonic shadow. The shadow recognizes the saint ancestor of the flower tree and reveals that she was severely wounded by a joint attack and escaped to the spirit realm. The saint ancestor of the flower tree examines the demonic shadow's divine consciousness and finds it restricted. So she removes the restriction and sets up a false one. Humans and spirits enter the node passage, and the demonic shadow is responsible for concealing this information. A muscular man in black armor pledges his allegiance to a woman in a palace dress and prepares to carry out her orders. Han Li and his companions emerge from the passageway and successfully reach the Bloodstone Mountains. In order to avoid attracting attention, they fly quickly on their way. Half a month later, they fly out of the mountains and enter a vast prairie where the demonic energy is denser than in the mountains. In the illusory Sound Desert, there are 8-legged demonic lizards that can be used as mounts due to their swiftness. However, these demonic lizards are rare and elusive. Obtaining them would require seeking out alliances with other demonic forces or engaging in exchanges. Han Li suggests traversing the desert and first investigating the situation with the demonic lizards before making a decision, thereby reducing both risk and time. Other team members express agreement with Han Li's measured approach, which allows for both attempting the desert crossing and returning to the sea route should it become necessary. The Spirit Clan will provide a response after internal deliberations. The colossal figure refuses to be refined into an immortal spirit pill and threatens to self-destruct the blood-dripping poor mushroom. The ancient voice declares the risk of self-destructing the flower fiend too great and a fierce debate ensues. An elder in white robes appears, warning the figure that his self-destruction would harm others. After much deliberation, the figure agrees to be sealed and, in return, his release will be considered. The elder in white robes accepts, but plans to deal with the release request after the sealing. The figure used mystic Xianji arts, but was destroyed by the white-robed elder using the blue light of the dazzling sky crystal tower. The white-robed elder commanded 8 holy spirits to activate the demon trapping formation, sealing the crimson flower and figure in an ice tower. The ice tower grew enormous, encasing the demon trapping formation and figure within. The holy spirits placed additional restriction formations and sealed another layer of ice peaks. The white-robed elder warned the holy spirits not to touch the ice peaks and destroyed the figure, refining its true spirit into a pill after the cold energy was depleted. The figure questioned the white-robed elder's sealing ability, but the elder revealed that he would use Xianjia talismans to further seal the figure's consciousness. Han Li and his party encounter a massive and continuous beast tide on the demon realm grasslands. Even with the efforts of the Long family patriarch and others, it is difficult to break out of the encirclement. Han Li suggests that the beasts are controlled by a beast king, and that killing more beasts will not help. The Long family patriarch decides to communicate a plan with the Saintess of Thousand Autumn Han Li. The Long family patriarch, the Saintess of Thousand Autumn, and Ji Shui will each search for and kill a beast king, with a time limit of 3 hours. A late nascent soul stage demonic cultivator and an elder are engaged in a fierce battle with a silver demonic beast. The elder demonic cultivator tries to use a crystal stone array to teleport away, but it is destroyed by the silver beast. The 2 demonic cultivators are surrounded again and fall into a desperate situation. Han Li activates his pseudo-demon pearl, which attracts the attention of the demonic beasts. Han Li uses his skills to break through the green beast's obstruction and flies up to face the many green beasts. The green beasts shoot green rays at Han Li. Han Li kills the silver beast with his Dharma idol and ends the beast tide. A fiend protector expresses gratitude for his life being saved and offers his services. Han Li learns the protector is from Blood Raven City, where a demon lord rules as city lord. Blood Raven City is located on a blood crystal mineral vein and sells materials needed to cultivate in demonic arts. The protector invites Han Li to attend the Blood Raven City auction, which is politely declined. The protector discloses that Han Li must pass through Blood Raven City or take a detour to reach the Badlands. Another beast tide erupts from the east, posing a significant threat to safe travel to the Badlands. Elder Wei sets out to investigate the beast tide situation. Ancestor Long's family asks 2 demon race members about Bloodcrow City and the surrounding cities. The demon race warrior replies Bloodcrow City is 100,000 miles away, and the nearest city is Night Cultivation City, which takes 2 months to travel to. The city lord is Bing Qianren, with the cultivation base of a mid-level demon venerable. Bloodcrow City is under martial law. But seniors are allowed to enter. There is no teleportation formation and to bypass the beast tide, you must pass through the withered leaf forest or the prairie. The demon race warrior provides a map of the area, which Ancestor Long's family copies and studies. Han Li suggests traveling to Bloodcrow City, arguing that it is safer in disguise, and that they can make contact with the demon race and obtain information about spirit medicines. Han Li and his companions arrive at Bloodcrow City. The city walls are made of blood crystal ore, which has the ability to break spells and repel butterfly-tailed beasts. The use of pseudomagic pearls is forbidden within the city, and everyone conceals their cultivation levels upon entering. Although Bloodcrow City is small, it is home to millions of demons, and flying is prohibited. The city has many shops, and the streets are bustling with demons of relatively high cultivation levels. In the northwest corner of the city is a small stone mountain, on which there is a gray-white stone tower and a black and red stone hall. This is the residence of the demon lord, Bing Qianren. The Long family's ancestor suggests that everyone should split up, and Han Li decides to act alone. Han Li arrives in the demon world's market to seek special treasures. With his experiences, Han Li knew the demon world's market may have the demon world's unique materials. He discovers a piece of ore in black and white, and through his spirit consciousness, he realizes it's the incredibly rare alien fiend gold. Han Li barters otherworldly metal for a top-tier magical flying sword. A short and stout magical creature provides the otherworldly metal, and Han Li uses his spiritual sight to discover a crystal bead within it. The crystal bead releases powerful energy, which Han Li resists with his golden hand. Han Li uses forbidden power to suppress the sphere of light, preparing to further study its energy composition. An unknown green gas was unintentionally attached to Han Li, with an astonishingly powerful force. The green gas deemed his body invincible and repeatedly returned to Han Li's body. Unable to eliminate the green gas, Han Li attempted to store it in his second nascent soul. With the help of the second nascent soul's demonic energy, the green gas was temporarily controlled. Han Li utilized the golden bottle to absorb the gray-white energy spheres, obtaining a massive amount of mana. Han Li planned to search for more crystal beads in the demon realm to achieve a greater cultivation breakthrough. As the Bloodcrow City Elder, Yu Lianshan hosts the auction, with 8 mid to late stage Void Refinement Realm demonic cultivators as enforcers. Yu Lianshan announces the start of the auction, with the first item being the top-grade demonic artifact, the Dark Blood 5-colored bell, with a starting bid of 5 million demonic stones. As soon as the Dark Blood 5-colored bell is revealed, it causes a sensation, with the bidding instantly surpassing 10 million. Han Li recalls that the Dark Blood 5-colored bell is similar to the glazed 5 Miao bell recorded in the Immortal World's artifact refinement technique. But he does not have the materials to refine it. Ultimately, the Dark Blood 5-colored bell is bought by a mysterious demonic cultivator in a silver ghost mask for 15 million demonic stones. In an auction, the value of a damaged cultivation method, the Holy Brick, is reduced, but it still attracts attention from demons. The Demon Lord, Lord Bloodraven, personally participates in the auction and makes an opening bid of 80 million demon stones. A mysterious bidder offers 90 million demon stones, competing with Lord Bloodraven for the Holy Brick. Greenish giant bones exuding a terrifying wild aura are actually the remains of an ancient true spirit. The remains of the true spirit do not contain true essence or spirit marrow, only their aura, greatly reducing their value. Han Li Divine Sense detected a familiar aura, and the 9-turn spirit ginseng asked to bid on the remains. Han Li personally examined the remains and confirmed their value. The auction house announced the starting price of the remains as 50 million magic stones. Due to the reduced value of the remains, the auction hall fell silent for a moment. Han Li acquires a precious medicinal bone from the medicine spirit, which can help his Jade Phoenix spirit advance to the Great Ascension stage. But it will take Qur more than 100 years to refine it. Qur tells Han Li that due to the unique nature of the spirit body, she can only exert 50 of its divine abilities while possessing it because her magic power is insufficient. And the medicine spirit will be weaker in other aspects after advancing to the Great Ascension stage. Han Li expresses no concern, as he has other life-saving methods in the demon realm. He goes to a materials shop in hopes of finding more crystal beads containing mystical energy to save cultivation time. While on the streets, Han Li is stopped by 2 mid-refining void stage demon realm men who invite him, on their mistress' orders, to visit their nearby house. Lord of Blood Crow City has discovered a demon lord and plans to team up with 3 Han brothers and Bing Chinblade to obtain a true spirit bone from the demon lord's possession. While searching for crystal orbs, Han Li comes across a chaotic situation in Blood Crow City but does not pay much attention to it. Later that night, Han Li notices 3 cultivators chasing one another in defiance of airspace restrictions and becomes intrigued. He follows their trail. One of the pursuers is a green light cultivator trying to avoid patrolling fiend guards while another is a gray light cultivator with superior speed. Curious about their purpose and realizing that they are not constrained by airspace restrictions, Han Li decides to continue following them. Han Li followed the mysterious pair to a chaotic pile of dark rocks. A green light and a gray Dun Guang disappeared in front of him. Blood Crow City Lord and a man in blue robes Yang Lauer appeared. Blood Crow City Lord used a black umbrella to cover several acres of land, forcing Yang Lauer out. Yang Lauer was at the mid-integration stage and denied being Yang Lauer. Blood Crow City Lord guessed that Yang Lauer was from the Sea of Thunder and had stolen the holy brick of the Weeping Soul Ancestor. Yang Lauer admitted to being a rogue cultivator from the Sea of Thunder and showed the 4th holy brick. The City Lord of Blood Crow missed his attack, as the old man with silver eyes and sheep elder used strange treasures to escape the blow. The City Lord of Blood Crow's incarnation appeared, and sheep elder suspected that he had used his heart's blood to refine the incarnation. The golden gourd devil venerable appeared, and the City Lord of Blood Crow revealed that he had planned the Weeping Spirit's secret treasure for many years. The City Lord of Blood Crow released the 7 killing blood evil in the black bone devil insect, causing Sheep Elder and the Golden Gourd Devil Venerable to flee in terror. A mysterious youth appears. A gigantic golden palm shatters the ghost head and the golden light, seriously injuring Yang Lauer and the Golden Gourd Demon Venerable. The youth demands the remaining sacred brick, but the Lord of Blood Raven City refuses. Relying on the protection of the 7 killing blood fiends, the youth spans dozens of meters, closing in on the Lord of Blood Raven City, who activates the blood fiends, only to have them absorbed by the youth's golden vortex. The silver-eyed elder is enraged, unleashing blue lightning and a cloud of black bugs to attack the youth. A devouring beetle consumes the Lord of Blood Crow City and seizes 3 sacred bricks. Han Li uses the purple word cauldron to trap Old Man Yang and Demon Venerable Gourd. Old Man Yang self-destructs a magic weapon to break free, while Demon Venerable Gourd summons a Kirin's apparition to escape. Han Li pursues Old Man Yang, using swordlight to cut through the Kirin's apparition, causing Demon Venerable Gourd to escape in a cloud of blood mist. Han Li managed to escape from an army of blood-sucking ants and returned to Raven City. However, the city was now surrounded by demonic beasts that were also driven out by the ants. Inside the city, the demons were panicked as they realized the ants were approaching. An elder from the Long family sent a message to Han Li, informing him that the ant army had surrounded the city. Han Li believed that they should break out as soon as possible to avoid the ants sharing their location with the queen and increasing their numbers. Half of the Blood Crow City's men have evacuated, while the escaping devils are in chaos. Han Li and his companions mingled into the devil groups and found that the devils have been divided into large and small groups who are escaping in the same direction. The vanguard of the devils encounters a blockade by vampire ants, and the devils at the rear join the attack to wipe out the ant colony. Just when the devils are in high spirits, a larger swarm of vampire ants descends from the sky, enveloping the devils. The human cultivators break out in separate ways, and Han Li breaks out of the ant colony as a cyan and white beam of light. He is pursued by a purple cloud. Han Li casts a spell to gather a silver lightning formation, preparing to force his way through the ant colony, hoping to avoid the ant queen's attention. Han Li diminished his sword light to penetrate into the depths of the legion of demonic ants. Using up his Dharma power, the demonic race was surrounded by the ants, and the low-level demonic race had exhausted their Dharma power. However, the demonic race from the nascent soul realm and above could still hold on. The sea of ants split and spread out, and the demonic race and demonic beasts from the Blood Raven City scattered and fled. The 3 demons from the High family and the 3 demonic race cultivators from the Nangong family joined forces to rush out of the sea of ants. But they were met with an attack from a mutant demonic ant. The mutant demonic ant spewed a purple liquid, corroding the bone shields, and the Nangong demonic race was in dire straits. Han Li discovers wind flame crystals in a canyon and is pursued by a demon bird. He arrives at the edge of a vast ocean and enters the inner sea. Han Li is attacked by a group of blue sea monsters and exterminates them with gray threads. As darkness falls, Han Li senses the presence of a powerful sea beast below the sea, and decides to stop traveling. He finds an islet and enters a stone cave. In the cave, he kills an armored beast and clears out a spacious cavern. Han Li takes out the sacred steel and studies the magic techniques recorded on it. He arranges the sacred stels in a row, releasing pillars of light, and prepares to cultivate the magic techniques. Han Li cultivates 100 vein refining treasures art and endures immense pain, leading to golden seal script appearing on his bones. Han Li practices soul refining art to strengthen his divine sense and increase his chances of advancing to the Grand Ascension stage. Han Li flies out of the ocean and into a dark green mountain range, encountering attacks from demonic beasts. After flying for many days, Han Li reaches the edge of the mountain range and prepares to continue his journey. With the Black Gale's help, Han Li moved closer to the devilish bat, which then spat out corrosive green flames. Han Li cast the raging wind to repel the green flames and used his ghostly figure technique to move through the devilish bat group, tearing them apart with his claws. With the black magic armor's protection from the devilish bat's green flames, Han Li vented his anger within the group, killing several devilish bats. A gigantic devilish bat appeared, releasing green flames and electric arcs, which were nullified by Han Li. Han Li claw wounded the gigantic bat's wings, forcing it to escape with its bloodline dun shu. The remaining devilish bat's sea of fire weakened, and Han Li watched with folded arms as members of the devil race counterattacked under the leadership of the refined void stage devil race. Han Li learns that the Bai family has a body refining cultivator, the Grandmaster of Ascending Skies, and decides to travel to Illusory Night City to pay him a visit. Several months later, Han Li and a group from the Bai family witness a fight between 7 nascent soul stage demons over the corpse of a golden radiance rat on the edge of the wilderness. 3 demons from the Bai family get into a bitter fight. The old man with a long beard decides to perform a secret technique of his clan to break through a bottleneck, but his younger brother objects. While his brother delays, the elder sheaths his flying dagger inside his body and prepares to perform his secret technique. At this time, a huge flying ship appears in the sky and rapidly approaches them. The Ark sailed out of the deserted area and reached a mountainous region. A month later, the Ark arrived in a basin near the city of Illusionary Night, a city of great scale and heavily guarded by prohibitions. Han Li and Bai Yunqin talked and learned that Illusionary Night City is ruled by 4 major families, and the Bai family is one of them. Bai Yunqin invited Han Li to live in the Bai family guest house, but Han Li declined, promising to prioritize the Bai family if he joined a family. Han Li wanted to enter the illusionary Roar Desert and needed an 8-legged magic lizard as a means of transportation. Bai Yunqin revealed that the 8-legged magic lizard is the foundation of Illusionary Night City, and the Bai family only sells it internally. Han Li decided to ask the ancestor of the Covering Heaven family about the 8-legged magic lizard. The Ark arrived in the sky near Illusionary Night City, and Bai Yunqin and others were excited to disembark and enter the city. The guards respectfully greeted the Bai family and those with them, and Han Li blended into the crowd and calmly entered the city. Myriad Demons Tower is a place where slaves and magical beasts are traded. After coming into contact with the demon youth, Han Li discovers that they are from the Ning family. The giant tower has different layouts and restrictions on different floors. Han Li becomes interested in the unique crystallized puppets of the giant tower, as their refining methods differ from the usual practices in the demon world. The middle-aged man hints that the crystallized puppets can be sold, but Han Li expresses that he will talk about it later. Han Li meets a middle-aged man in Wanluata, requesting to view the new puppets. During the process, an elder in brocade clothes appears, bringing with him 4 demon guards and a new slave girl, a young woman in a yellow shirt. Han Li discovers that the young woman has no demonic aura and her face is familiar. He asks to buy the young woman, but the elder in brocade clothes refuses, saying that she has already been reserved. The middle-aged man reveals that the one who reserved the young woman is Zhao Wenhao, the head of the Zhao family, and advises Han Li to give up on buying her. However, Han Li ignores the warning and directly takes the young woman away. Within the 10,000 Slaughters sect, the guardian elder fears Han Li's status and avoids offending him. Han Li takes away the slave previously reserved for the Zhao family, causing a dilemma for the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper needs to explain to the Zhao family while also looking for a replacement slave. Han Li appears calm but is lost in thought. Recalling his past with a girl in white robes. The beast carriage arrives at its destination. And Han Li disembarks. The destination is Sacred Spirit Academy. Han Li reveals Zhu Guo'er identity during her reincarnation period. Zhu Guo'er confesses and reveals that she was once a nascent soul cultivator. Han Li speculates that Zhu Guo'er mother also practiced the maiden power technique but not the reincarnation technique. Zhu Guo'er discloses that when her mother guided her in cultivation, she needed to consult others. Han Li suspects that Zhu Guo'er mother has another true master. Zhu Guo'er reveals that her mother's name is Ling Feixian, who looks similar to her. Han Li learns that Zhu Guo'er strayed into the demon realm from the small spirit heaven. Han Li searches the soul of Zhu Guo'er, a young girl from Shaolingtian, and places a restriction on her, making her a temporary servant. The patriarch of the Zhao family invites Han Li to attend the Zhao family's ancestral ceremony in a month. Bai Yunqin learns that Han Li is the demon venerable and visits to apologize. Han Li asks her about her intentions. Bai Yunqin, a purple-haired woman seemingly in her 20s, appears as the ancestor of the Bai family dressed in white shorthorns. Han Li is surprised by Bai Yunqin's identity, but he suddenly understands after learning that covering Sky Dweller is the inherited title of the Bai family. Bai Yunqin's divine sense cannot probe Han Li cultivation. Han Li claims to cultivate the path of slaughter and has only been a demon venerable for a few hundred years. Han Li wants to enter the elusive Shriek Desert to train and asks the Bai family to sell him an 8-legged demonic lizard as a mount. But this request troubles Bai Yunqin because the 8-legged demonic lizard is very important to the major families of the elusive Shriek City and is usually not sold to outsiders. Demon lords are to confront a powerful demonic beast with potent pyromancy powers, whose cultivation level has reached the late nascent soul stage. The Bai family has enlisted 4 demon lords. And if Han Li joins, their chances of success will increase to 90. The Bai family's mine, which the demonic beast has occupied, contains the highest grade fire cloud stones, and the beast has been cultivating by absorbing their true fire energy. As a reward for Han Li assistance, the Bai family offers an 8-legged demon lizard and other remuneration. The fire cloud mine is within traveling distance from the Bai family, requiring approximately 3 months for a round trip. The Bai family will depart immediately upon receiving reinforcements, and Han Li has agreed to aid them. Han Li consults with the Grand Master of Heavenly Revelation about demonic techniques and body refining techniques. And the Grand Master provides unique insights into body refinement, resolving some of Han Li's perplexities. The vast illusion mirror inspected Han Li, discovering that he is practicing the cultivation techniques of true devil chi and violet marrow gold bone refining body devilish art. His physical body is strong, and his divine sense is unusual. The purple-haired woman is concerned about Han Li's formidable strength, but after learning of his connections with the Bai family, she believes that it will be helpful in resolving the problem with the magical beasts. Han Li counter-detected the Bai family's devil venerable, discovering that he is only at the mid-devil venerable stage. With the power of his pseudo-devil pearl, he need not worry about his identity being exposed. Through communication with the purple-haired woman, Han Li benefited greatly, learning that the Long family's ancestors and the other humans have not yet arrived at Illusion Night City. The Howling Desert is a vast and boundless desert of gray gravel. The Bai family provides the group with the rare and valuable 8-legged magic lizard as a means of transportation. The magic lizards are equipped with beast-driving plates on their backs, allowing them to run swiftly through the sands and absorb energy. Upon entering the desert, the energy of heaven and earth repels magic and spiritual energy, suppressing Han Li mana. The Bai family's group identifies the correct direction and drives their magic lizards deep into the desert. Sanda perils of the Shadow Moon Desert, the soul-flaying winds, the earth-suffocating sands, and the Shadow Moon howling wolves. Shadow Moon howling wolves are the least dangerous, but travel in packs. Soul-flaying winds are the most dangerous peril in the Shadow Moon Desert. Half a month later, Han Li and his group arrived at the Silver Stream Oasis, a small outpost controlled by the Bai clan. There were restrictions around the outpost's perimeter, and Bai Yunqin and the others entered with iron tokens, only to find that the guarding disciples had vanished. The outpost's restrictions were still intact, and Han Li saw through the covering of the restriction to find that the outpost was completely empty. Without any signs of a struggle, Han Li discovered a record of a blood-tooth rice that is unique to the demon realm and learns that it is produced in the Blue Waterfall Lake, but in very small quantities. The Bai family has one piece of high-grade blood-tooth rice, and Han Li and Han Chizi are interested in it. The Bai family denies having any more, but Han Li and Han Chizi offer to buy it at a high price. The brawny Bai man and the purple-haired woman discuss the disappearance of a disciple from the family, but to no avail. The group sets out for the Bai family's mine, and on the way, they encounter a tall sand dune. The brawny man warns everyone that there are demonic beasts in the sand dune, and he leads everyone to fly low to the sand dune. Han Li uses his spirit eyes to observe the sand dune and discovers that there may be something unusual about a patch of sand. Sister Wu uses a secret technique to locate the demonic beast, preventing them from being ambushed. Upon entering the densely packed mine tunnels, the temperature rises. Han Li discovers a headless skeleton which the purple-haired woman identifies as Bai Yan, a disciple of the Bai family. They find multiple skeletons along the way, all of whom were disciples of the Bai family who were left to guard the site. The yellow-haired man asks about the distance to the demonic beast, and Sister Wu confirms that there is no immediate danger. They decide to cast a concealment spell to prevent the demonic beast from discovering them. Han Li and Tianyuan long explore the lava lake and discover a large black shadow, but they cannot identify it. Two white family ancestors set up a magic array and control it, preparing to force out the magical beast. Tianyuan long attacks the lava lake, attracting a green magical beast and is seriously injured by its attack. The magical beast emerges from the lava, huge in size, enveloped in green flames, and emitting a bovine roar. Snowflake Freeze clashes with a crimson fireball, and Han Li and two others attack the demonic beast together. The demonic beast inhales the green flames, revealing its Zhongning true form and spewing out a stone wall of green flames to ward off the attacks. A purple-haired woman attacks the stone wall with a halberd, and a blonde giant transforms his lightning into a black sword to bombard it. Han Chizi attacks the demonic beast with an iceberg, which is warded off by the demonic beast's strange claws. Celestial Lord Luan Long transforms blood-colored snowflakes into ice spikes to counter the stone wall. Inside the magic array, a Ba family cultivator is discovered dead by a Ba family fighter. Two more cultivators go missing. Suddenly, a figure rushes out of the black aura and cries out for help from Lord Longtian, but is struck by a beam of white light, and its head is replaced by a blurred, featureless white light. The white light splits continuously, killing Bai Yunqin and another Ba family cultivator. Han Li and Han Chizi are unable to intervene in time. The yellow-haired fighter and the purple-haired woman decide to deal with the demonic beast first and join forces with Han Li to deal with the white light monstrosity. The purple-haired woman theorizes that the white light monstrosity may be a type of incorporeal demonic spirit, capable of resisting swords, fire, water, and being less affected by escape techniques.